What's up, fight fans? Can you hear me out there? Can you hear me loud and clear? What's up, fight fans? We are back at it with another edition of Round One Sports TV. I am always your host, Edwin. Where the wall fights start, round one. So I hope you like the new setup. You know what I'm saying? Looking real sharp over here. You know what I mean? Let's talk about it. Yo, listen, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Um, let me know that you can hear me loud and clear there. Starting off a little late, getting in a little late right now. And I wanted to drop this video today and talk about this Naoya inoue ticket sales. I wanted to know you guys' opinion on Roman Cardenas, what he had to say about the fight, how confident he feels going into this fight, and what his opportunities that are in front of him in this fight. And we're going to be taking a look at, I'm going to give my own personal insight on both these fighters and what these fighters stand to gain and who do I think is going to win and the when and the where. So you're not going to want to miss this video. So let's lock in right now. Let me get all set up here. Look, what can I say? Roman Cardenas is being given an opportunity that most men in boxing will never ever see. Most men will never reach the pinnacle where on one night they stand to win all four major sanctioning bodies, the alphabet boys, the WBA, the WBC, the IBF, and the WBO. It's not every day that you get a phone call and your stars are changed. Shit. Roman Cardenas said it best when he said, I only wanted to fight for one world title, to make it just there. And the type of opportunity that was given to him, I don't think this man's going to take lightly. Roman Cardenas has a record of 26 fights, 14 big ways by knockout, and he was defeated one time. Now, when we take a look at advantages in this fight, Naoya Inoue is 5'5", and Roman Cardenas is a Mexican, which stands at 5'5". He's an orthodox boxer, and he has a 53% knockout ratio. He's 29 years old, and he's a Mexican. So it's gonna be coming off the Saul Canelo Alvarez big Mexican fight. We're gonna have a big fight weekend, and fights are gonna continue from Friday to Sunday. And when we think about Roman Cardenas' loss, right, against Danny Flores, right? It was a majority decision, 10-round fight, and he came up short that night. Now, since then, he's put together an impressive winning streak. He has, I believe it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14 straight wins since his loss. And Roman Cardenas has been put down in fights, and he's fought through adversity, got up, and won the fight. Now, when it's not every day that a man is given an opportunity where you truly look yourself in the mirror and you ask yourself that one question: what are you made of? Is this what you want to do? Is this what you're prepared? Are you ready to run that extra mile? And Roman Cardenas, I could hear it in his voice. I could see it in his eyes. This man is not taking this opportunity lightly. I'm telling you right now, I know in my hearts of hearts, he's running that extra mile. And he's studying tape on Naoya Inoue. Roman Cardenas, one of his greatest attributes is that he's really durable, tough, and he's not afraid to take chances. He really goes in trying to pressure his opponent, but also set them up. He's a really smart fighter when he gives the impression that he's going to attack, sit back, and counter. Roman is tricky like that, and he surprised many fighters. I've watched some of his tapes, and he's no slouch by any stretch of the imagination. And if you want me to be honest in my assessment, I think they picked the right guy for the job. Meaning, I like this fight better than MJ. Oh, yeah. There's something about his style that tells me I think he'd fare well against MJ. Saying that he would beat him, that I would have to see. I'm not going to go that far, but I think his style is more troublesome than what people think. He has a style where you would think, you're going to be, Naoya Inoue is going to be able to catch up to him. And when you're coming into a fight, this is a massive opportunity. So I know Roman Cardenas, his coaches, they're not trying to change him as a fighter. No, they're trying to work with what they got, but just make him that much better and that much more efficient in the fight against Naoya Inoue. When you're dealing with a fighter such as Naoya Inoue, he's not just great in one area, he's great all around. So building a game plan to fight a man like that, shit, that might give you nightmares. It might keep you up at night. How do you approach that? Which style are you gonna? And my biggest advice to Roman Cardenas, don't let him get a beat on you. You're gonna have to switch it up. You're gonna have to go in there each round, round by round, and you're gonna have to give him different looks. You can't allow him to see you dipping too many times forward or dipping to one side, favoring one side. He's going to set you up going that way. You're going to have to keep him guessing. A lot of fighters in recent fights, that's where their success lied against Naoya Inoue. Marlon Tapales did it. He started faking everything. Then Naoya Inoue soon realized, oh, you're just making it up as you go along. You weren't fluent in it. He didn't really have a game plan. It was like Marlon Tapales figured out the rope-a-dope in the middle. He knew the answer to the problem. He just didn't prepare for the test. He didn't know he was going to come out in this style, rounds 1, 2, and 3. He's going to do this, 4, 5, and 6. He's going to do this. You see? He didn't have it planned out. He soon realized, shit, I can't do the same thing. Then Naoya Inoue figured out Marlon Tapales, and he started doubling up on his jab while going in and then throwing the straight right. And so he was catching up to Marlon when his feet were planted. So, Roman, you have to know that his pressure is a lot to deal with. Don't move with your hips. Move your feet, kid. Keep moving your feet, right? And then punch while he's coming in. He's going to give you opportunities. Don't wait for them. Don't try to see the punch. Don't. Because it's not going to work against a fighter like. Just think that the punch is there and throw it. You're going to have to fight him. Look, Roman, if you're thinking about out jabbing him, you're done. If you want to go power for power, you're done. You want to go movement for movement, brother, athleticism, you're done. Don't fight his fight. Roman, you're going to have to switch it up. And I suggest, right, not favoring all the time and keep it up that you're going to the body. He has this shot when the guy tries to go down to the body, He sets it up so that you think you're going to go up top and he smacks you on the side of the head. He punches guys right here on the top of their forehead. He did it to Michael McDonald. He did it to a lot of fighters. And he hits them right here. Oh, Des Martinez, he did it to him. He hits them right there. Pop. And it seems like they're so now concentrated on the fact I don't want to take a punch like that they leave their body exposed. You're going to have to know how to really feel out Naoya Inoue, and keep them guessing. Keep them guessing. And don't be afraid to throw your hands. Nah. If he thinks something's coming, he'll be a little bit more hesitant to just coming in. He's going to test you, kid. Oh, he's going to test you. And he's going to throw that stabbing jab. He has a powerful jab, Roman. So don't get caught too many times with it. But if you're getting caught with it and he sees you went forward the first time, you can get away with it. He's checking you out. If you do the same movement again, don't go in. Don't go in, right? Fake him. Try to see if he'll bite, and you're gonna, you know what to do. You know exactly what to do. You know what I'm talking about. I just can't tell you the recipe. The recipe you have to create. You got all the skills. This is your moment. This is your opportunity, Roman Cardenas. The stage is yours. How hard have you trained? How hard have you prepared? And Roman Cardenas is going to have to show on that night that he wants it more than Naoya Inoue. He's going to have to show the world. He's going to have to be prepared in a mindset. I'm willing to leave it all out on that night. There is no other fight for me. There is no tomorrow. There is only on this night. And on this night, Roman Cardenas, I wish you the best. May the best man win. Now his opponent is the world undisputed champion at 122 pounds. There is only one champion. You might as well say there is only one belt, because in Naoya Inoue's weight division, he has them all from the Ringside Magazine on down. That is impressive, ladies and gentlemen. Saul Canelo Alvarez is about to fight William Skull for unification. If he's successful, he will become unified for the second time at 168 pounds. It's an impressive feat. People might have criticism about Naoya Inoue, and they might have criticism about Saul. Tell their favorite fighter to do as such. Naoya Inoue is truly a generational talent. He comes to us with a record of 29 and 26 big ways by knockout. He's never been defeated, but he's been tested. When they talk about Naoya Inoue and they say, what has he done? Who has he fought? What adversities? Well, he got his orbital broken in the second round against Nonito Donaire, and he went 10 rounds with that. Most men would have folded. Naoya Inoue, truly, he went and got dropped by Luis Pantera Nari in the first round. And don't you know he got up off that ground, and Luis Pantera Nari didn't win a single second or a single minute for the remaining of the fight. Naoya Inoue has been battle tested. And he has been in situations and fights where he believes in the samurai way to finish the fight. Naoya Inoue typically won't play it safe. Everyone knows by now he'll give you an opportunity. But he's willing to take your punch, but are you willing to take his? Naoya Inoue is coming into this fight a highly, highly decorated champion. From the moment he started his young career, Naoya Inoue took off. His first few fights were scheduled 8 rounders. His next two were 10s, and from there on in, all 12-round fights. With only turning pro within a year, he had already challenged for his first world title. Entering boxing at the ripe young age of 19 years old, Naoya Inoue was truly a kid, but he was exceptional. And many people right away saw the talent that was Naoya Inoue. He was already a polished fighter. Why didn't Japanese want him on their boxing team? The Japanese boxing team for the Olympics. I don't know what happened there, but I know one thing. He's a hell of a pro. In only 6 professional fights, he competed for his first world championship. In only 8 professional fights, he was a 2-division world champion. 8 fights. We're talking about a kid that was 20 years old at this time, roughly. And right around that time, I believe Naoya Inoue was truly trying to make his way. You see, when we think about this sport, we think about the men and women that have came up through the Olympics. Winning a gold medal will catapult your career. Coming in as a prospect nowadays with all social media, you don't even have to throw a punch. On your debut, you're hyped up. It used to not be like that. You really had to prove your ways. And the reason why I said all of that is to show you that if you don't have a big promotional company or gold medal walking in, you're truly getting it out the mud. Naoya Inoue wasn't signed to Top Rank when he was coming up. No, Ohashi Promotions out there in Japan. That's who had his back from day one. And he's like Tim Duncan, stayed with the same crew, never switched it up. And I admire that about a fighter. So Naoya Inoue goes on and he enters the World Series of Boxing to fight for the coveted prestigious Muhammad Ali trophy. And in this competition, all the top bantamweights of the world put in all their belts. There was only one belt missing in the tournament at the time. For whatever reason, I can't think back why he didn't participate. But they had a bracket of all the top bantamweight in the world. All the top. It was truly the best fighting the best. And in this tournament, Naoya Inoue, masterclass performances. His first opponent was Payano. He knocked out Payano in 70 seconds in the first round. That man shifted one way wrong and the fight was over. Then I said to myself, well, I've seen a knockout before. It's pretty impressive, but we've all seen knockouts. That's not going to tell me that you're this guy. In the second part of the World Series of Boxing, he came across Emmanuel Rodriguez. Emmanuel Rodriguez was 19-0, tough Puerto Rican fighter. And Naoya Inoue went in there and he made it a short night. Within 2 rounds, Emmanuel Rodriguez was no longer the IBF world champion, and Naoya walked off with that belt like it was his, and he was just holding it for him. I mean, he went through the first half of the World Series of Boxing, and the world started to notice who he was. You see, you have to understand that in that moment, when he came up into the finals, he came up across a man by the name of Flash, Nonito Donaire. Nonito Donaire, most of you guys know the Filipino Flash, 4-division world champion. I think he's a Hall of Famer for sure. No, I know he's a Hall of Famer for sure. And he was criticized coming into this fight after the fight. Naoya Inoue coming into the fight. The Flash was represented by Top Rank and the one and only Bob Arum. That was their fighter. Naoya Inoue wasn't signed to Top Rank. Then he goes into this fight and he has, I believe it was the fight of the year, or he got fight of the year honor. I can't remember right now. And that's where he suffered an orbital bone fracture in just the second round. And I'm gonna tell you something right now. If you've never broken a bone in your body, an orbital bone fracture, when that kind of break happens, it's too close to your ear not to hear it. He had to have heard his bone break. That's freaky. Knowing, listen, when you know, like, you take an injury or you break your jaw in a boxing match, you'll know it's broken. I've seen hundreds of fighters go back to a corner and say, my jaw's broken. He knows. He's got so much adrenaline going through him, though, he don't feel it just yet. But in the second round, cold as hell, Naoya Inoue felt and heard, I know he did, that orbital bone break. He knew he was in trouble. He couldn't see him. He was seeing triples. His brother kept telling him, hit the guy in the middle. And then in a moment in the fight, this is how intelligent Naoya Inoue, how calm he was. This is a lot of things. What truly makes him who he is. In that moment, he saw everything. He must have saw everything slipping away. Do you ever think he went back to his corner and he might have thought, let me pack this up. I can't fight with this. I can't see him. What did he actually do? He wasn't looking for a way out. He was looking for a solution to his problem. And he found one. Do you want to know how he found it? The ironic thing? In fact, he had witnessed the fight of a man suffering a similar injury, not being able to see the guy in front of him. What did the guy do? He covered his eye and he started fighting. He didn't want to way out of the fight. He said, I'm still in this fight, but when I got you sized up, then I'll throw the other one and I'll go back. And when I have to, I'll go in the defense, block, block, block. And then when I need time to figure out where you are, just give me a beat on you, then we'll fight. Where did he learn that at? Against the man he was actually fighting, Nonito Donaire. Nonito Donaire suffered a similar injury, and that's how he fought the fight. Naoya Inoue saw that, watched the tape, and in the corner, in the moment, remembered that. And he said, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I need to do. I don't want out of this fight. I'm going to win this fight. And that's exactly what he did. After the fight, critics took to social media and quickly tried to discredit Naoya Inoue's victory over winning the Muhammad Ali trophy. In fact, after the fight, Donaire had promised his kids the trophy that I believe Naoya Inoue let him take it for like a day or so that he could take pictures with the trophies and the kids can see it. That's how much of a competitor Naoya Inoue is. He understands what some of these guys' dreams are. But he's not an asshole in a victory, or he hasn't lost yet, so in a victory. And he's willing to share. And he's willing to show humility, even after a victory as such. Then the critics took to social media and they quickly tried to write off his victory by saying Nonito Donaire was too old. And I was like, wow. In fact, Nonito Donaire went on to secure a world title and successfully defend it. Naoya Inoue fought him again. That's how good he was. And when all these guys take to social media, I would like to ask them a question. I would like to ask them, how many of their champions beat a champion And after losing to your champion, they went on to become world champion. How many of their fighters, opponents, were that good? But yet he was washed. Then Nonito Donaire got a second opportunity, a second crack at the monster, and that was a short night. Naoya Inoue knocked that man out, and he went right through him, man. It didn't matter how good Nonito Donaire trained for that fight, how bad he wanted it. None of that mattered on that night. Nothing he did. Once Naoya Inoue hit him once flush on that jaw, it was a wrap. It was a wrap. He never recovered from that first shot in the first round. Had they been 10 more seconds in that first round, he knocks him out in the first. He went, then Naoya Inoue got signed up with Bob Arum, and I think that was the best thing he could have done. Bob Arum's reach in boxing is ginormous, and he got him all the fights he could. He quickly convinced Bob Arum with every performance, with every victory, with every knockout to get behind him. And Bob Arum was like, "Look, you got me, kid. I'm sold. You want these title fights? You got them." And Bob Arum moved mountains, heaven and earth. He moved it to get Naoya Inoue them title fights. And he got them quick, too. He got them quick. Bob Arum got Naoya Inoue, Stephen Kubo Fulton, and Marlon Tapales like back to back. That's how much he believes in his fighter. Naoya Inoue is climbed up throughout the weight divisions, 4 weight divisions. 4 weight divisions. He's on his consecutive 25 world title fight in a row. But that's not the only impressive thing. You see, look, it's hard enough to win one world title. We've talked about it, right? And when men like Terrence Crawford and other men in the past have won all 4 titles, and a man wants to challenge him and they say, "Hey, Terrence Crawford, are you going to put up and defend all 4 belts?" And he turns around and looks at the guy and says, "It took me a lifetime to chase down each of those champions, negotiate fights, headaches, give them more money than what they were worth, going to foreign countries. It took me a lifetime to complete all of that. And you want me to give this guy an opportunity at my life's achievement on one night just to change his stars? Winning those 4 belts will probably put you in the Hall of Fame. You probably were never a champion, and you was never going to be that kind of champion had it not been for me." So what did Terrence Crawford do? He chose to vacate the belts and throw him back into the pond. Go get him like I got him. Why should I give you an opportunity? I went and got him one by one. You shouldn't be able to win them all 4. But that's not what Naoya Inoue is saying. Naoya Inoue is saying, check this out. I'll gladly put up all 4 belts. Right? And he's done it once, twice, 3 times. This is 4. He's going to be putting up all 4 belts, a remarkable 4 times in a row. He didn't do it like Saul did it, where Saul defended all 4, then jumped up, came back down, jumped up, went this way, that way, defended, went this way, that way, then defended. No. Naoya Inoue is giving every man in his weight division, if you're rightfully so worthy and deserving, and the next man in line, guess what? You're going to get your shot and your opportunity. When you see a lot of antics around Naoya Inoue and people calling him out, shit, everybody, my grandmother said she wants to fight him. For that much money, she said, sign her up. Grandma, calm down. You'll get your shot. Listen, everybody can get it. Naoya Inoue was criticized for ducking MJ, which is laughable. It's truly laughable when we look at MJ and what he did to get back into that number one spot. He didn't beat anybody. He beat a guy ranked 56 and a guy ranked 88. He didn't beat anyone in the top 20. So Bob Arum, they must have laughed at that. They must have looked at MJ and said, Ed Hearn, nice try. All this smoke screen about Naoya Inoue ducking you, he ain't ducking you. We ain't never said MJ is a real threat to Naoya Inoue's run. Who's ever said that? Who's ever said that if the fight were to occur, I got MJ in the fight? Who said that? No one believes that. That was all a smoke screen to try to generate the fight and build more money on his end. Because MJ knows that's the lottery fight. He'll retire off that Naoya Inoue fight if he gets it. Now, they did already say that Naoya Inoue's last fight is in September in the 122, and that he will officially be going up to 126 probably in December. And we're going to get that fight. That now, the where they've been back and forth with that. They've been all over the place with where he's going to fight. Some people are saying he's going back to Japan after this fight. Turkey says, no, he's not. He's going to fight in Riyadh season. That's not Japan, bro. So I'm like, and then in December, they're saying he's going back to Japan. Now, I think that's what's going to happen. You know, I don't think Turkey has him as an ambassador, you know, and is paying him this money to wear that T-shirt if he can't ask him to come over here and fight for a shitload of money. You know, and then we're talking about the fight itself. May 4th, Las Vegas, T-Mobile Arena, right? Naoya Inoue will be facing Roman Cardenas. And on that undercard, there's pretty good undercard fights there. We're gonna be having a title defense from Espinoza at 126, which also is going to be checking out Naoya Inoue, and I believe his camp is going to be taking a look at that guy, that specimen of a man at 6'1" at 126. Like, his skeleton is just showing up to the fight. I don't know how he pulls that off. I can't pull off 126 at 5'8" and a half. There's no way. I'll die. He's 6'1". He's a freak of nature. I don't know how he's doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. I look at him sometimes the night before on the weigh-in, Espinoza, and I'm afraid that si se tira un peo, se muere. He can't lose no more weight, bro. But he comes in strong. Yo. Who, Naoya Inoue got a bronze or silver? Yeah, when he lost that right there was the qualifying rounds for him to go to be elected to be represented by the Japanese Olympic. And they went somewhere else. They decided somewhere else, man. They was like, no, we're going to take this guy. They've been kissing his ass ever since. Yo, Mark, what's up? What you say? Hearn said that MJ in Japan in September. Yes, Mark, that's what he said. That's what I'm saying. They're all over the place, right? Because Ed Hearn, out of his mouth, that's exactly what I'm saying. He said, no, we're going to fight MJ. MJ's going to fight Naoya Inoue in September in Japan. And then I'm like, that's not what Turkey's saying. Turkey ain't saying no shit like that. Turkey's saying Naoya Inoue's next fight It's in Riyadh season. He's going to be fighting in Saudi, bro, I think. And I think I believe Turkey over Ed Hearn. I don't know where he fighting sometimes. I'm like, but wherever it makes dollars and cents. Now let's talk about this fight in the T-Mobile, right? And about this little shot, right, by Rick Glazier there, right, the reporter. And he's taking a shot at Top Rank and Naoya Inoue and saying that this is a flop already. A month and a month and 5 days out from the fight, he wrote this report. It's ridiculous. It's truly ridiculous, right? Because the fight didn't sell out in 4 or 5 days. He said it was a flop. He wrote that the number is, and it's alarming how much tickets are not being sold, right? And just, I think it was yesterday, he was approaching like 12,000 ticket sales. 12,000. Jaron Boots Ennis just fought in Jersey, Atlanta, New Jersey, right? And that capacity, 9,000. For unification world title fight, an American fighter that we're supposed to know. They didn't sell that out. That was 9,000 at capacity. They didn't sell that out. So you got a guy that is roughly not even known of, and he's doing so bad in ticket sales that we're still a couple weeks out from the fight. He's already sold 12,000 seats. Way more priced than that Jaron Boots Ennis fight, I tell you that much. Them seats in the front, 1,000, 3,000. I saw one, it was like 3,004, some shit. For all them front row right there at ringside. Si se tira un peo, tú te lo huele. That's them kind of seats. You know what I mean? And Jaron Boots Ennis wasn't selling $2,000 seats. 1,600, they shit. But Naoya Inoue, somehow, it's flopping. Really, you hater. And guys, if you've been on my show and you've been with me for a while, was I not the one that told you that you're gonna hear all this hate from these guys? And I told you, I can't tell you which way it's gonna come, but be prepared to hear a lot more. Because if they can't beat him in the ring, what are they going to do? They're going to try to smear his name. When you can't beat a great one at what they're great at, they find other ways to try to take you down. Because they can't beat you in your craft. Naoya, in a way, his ticket sales are just fine. And I bet you, right? Now, I'm not sure. I don't think it's going to do like the 17. I'm not sure. I hope he does. Shit, I hope they bust out the extra seats and max capacity that motherfucker at 20,000. Because if they have to, they'll bust out that other row. Yeah, they will. And then they got like these emergency seats that the richer get. They all of a sudden they start jacking up front row seats and putting them like right, you know, because he would have to sell 17 and some change to sell out the AT&T mobile. It's like 17 something, right? And then at max, you can get 20 plus. Now, I'm not sure he's going to do those kind of numbers, you know, but, you know, I think leading into the fight as we get closer, you know how we are. We drag our feet. And I can see the fight selling out like the week leading into the fight. Look, this man is interesting enough. And I don't know when the next time he'll ever step in US soil again. I don't know. If everybody's pulling him in every different direction, you know, Japan, Riyadh, they're not saying US. They're saying top like, all these guys, they were gonna let Bob Arum have his night. I'm surprised Bob Arum didn't throw it in New York City, Madison Square Garden, because Bob Arum just got his credit card running at Madison Square Garden, right? He loves, like, he is a New Yorker, New Yorker, New Yorker, all right? And he loves to throw fights for his boys. Jesus Christ, that's got to be an amazing night. To ever fight in once was the mecca of boxing. Wow, man, se me paran los pelos, man. Like, just walking down the halls and seeing like the pictures on the wall and just knowing Muhammad Ali walked down this hallway right here. Sugar Ray Leonard did, Hector Camacho, all them greats, man. Floyd did. They all walked in that building, bro. Right when I would walk through the doors, you would know, man, you're in Madison Square Garden, man, and you're just like, this is fucking surreal. I couldn't imagine what it would be like to fight in there. Never mind being the headline. Like when you're coming in, you see your fucking picture on the billboard and shit and your name across. Bro, you're gonna have to kill me, man. You really are. I'm gonna go in there with that kind of intensity. That's insane. And Naoya Inoue, fighting in Vegas is great. It's great. Vegas got all kinds of walks of life. And, you see, New York City, everybody will travel. It brings all walks of life there too. And everybody there is in New York City is just every nationality on the planet is in New York. I don't think there's not a nationality that exists that is not in New York. So it's a bit of diverse of everything, but Vegas is where the money's at. Vegas is where the money's at. There's no money like Vegas money. And as boxers, we know that. Why you think so many boxers move to Vegas? It's really become like the mecca of boxing. They got like fucking 100 gyms out there, boxing gyms. Floyd Mayweather got his gym, maybe a couple, and the list go on of all the boxers that have moved out to Vegas. And there's a lot of fighting going on in Vegas. It's really become that kind of city. So, as far as ticket sales, there's a lot of rich people in Vegas, a lot of people looking to strike it rich, and the money's there for these fights to be put together. You could sell one fight, like I said in the Naoya Inoue fight, $3,000, one seat. I don't know if Naoya Inoue is selling a $3,000 seat in Japan. Those tickets, he might fill 55,000, but a lot of those tickets might have been, $25, $50, $100, shit like that. Just like Anthony Joshua when he fills up those big ass stadiums. But when he came to America, he was supposed to come there, and he had the movie stars coming out for him, basketball players, football. That's money. How much you think them dudes pay for them tickets for a seat? 10,000 a seat on that night, maybe more. 16,000, 25,000 a seat. Just one seat, 25 bands. Ain't no money like Vegas money, man. That's why Naoya Inoue is going out there, but Saudi's changing the game. Now there's no money like Saudi money. That quickly, changed, well, not quickly. because Vega was strong for a long time. Um, so Naoya Inoue is definitely going to look to fight there, but I also want to take a look at Espinoza fighters like Vargas that's on the card, Espinoza, and uh, I I want to look at Espinoza and I want to see how he looks. He's coming off a fight where he had received scrutiny and criticism for throwing his elbows. So he's got to know that the referee's going to be like, like if you even like he raises the elbow funny, he might get a warning. The next time point deduction, just raise it, because they're gonna be on him. They're gonna be on him about that, and I want to see if Robertsi has a valid point or he just got his ass whooped. You know what I mean? And Espinoza is him. I got Espinoza in his fight. Yes, I'm picking him to win. I want to see how he does it, how he looked. Um, he's fighting like a champion, man. He really is. And can Espinoza still make this weight while Naoya Inoue fights these few fights and Espinoza gets his turn? Because rumor has it, it's going to be Nick Ball. Rumor has it. They all say they want to fight him until he's available. Then all of a sudden, it's an inconvenience. Not right now, Naoya Inoue. What? You're in front of me. Did I say I wanted to fight you? When? Here's your YouTube clip. Yeah, I'll kick Naoya Inoue's ass. Listen, Naoya, AI is a mother, and that wasn't me. Listen, I can't fight you right now. It's an inconvenient. I'm gonna go that way, right? Right? You know they all say it, and then all of a sudden, when he's available, it's like crickets. No one takes to social media anymore. None of the guys in his weight division. But they don't want you to pay attention to none of this. They only understand the kind of fighter he is. He understands the moment in the night. He said it best himself. I can't take a tune-up fight. I need the fight to mean something for that I get out of bed earlier. He wants this guy to make him feel slightly nervous so he can train even harder. Naoya Inoue, all these great fighters, they're a little, if you know what I mean. All they need is a little bit. Give him a little bit. And he's going to use that as fuel to destroy you. Naoya Inoue understands his responsibility as a fighter. That if on this night you beat him or you beat the best version of him, you're not going to beat this watered down version of a fighter. Naoya Inoue is going to give you his best, and that's his promise to you. I promise you that I will be a professional. I will make weight and come in and give you the best fight of your life if you're willing to give me the same promise. Each fight, Naoya Inoue must come out and ask himself, are you him? Are you him? Are you the guy that's going to beat me? He goes out there, quickly finds out, nope, not him. On to the next. Those are the questions that Roman Cardenas must be asking himself right now. Can I be him? Naoya Inoue is going to look at him and ask, are you him? Round 1. Pun intended. Top Rank. Top Rank is promoting this fight. They're promoting the shit out of this fight. Okay? The problem is that people are going to make it look like that to try to kill Top Rank's night. Remember, there are a group of individuals behind the scenes trying to take Naoya Inoue down. Not everyone is happy that he's breaking all our legends' records. And he's putting them under a Japan flag. It's not a U.S. flag, brother. Not all the legends like that. There are men right now working on trying to disrail him, trying to build a story of a steroid scandal, an affair. There's people outside everywhere he goes just snapping photos, trying to get him doing something. Say something wrong. Say the N-word, Naoya, in a way. Come on, please. They want anything. Where are these kind of box? Oh, he's winning box. He's cheating. Put those wraps, put tape up, load of hand wraps. They're going to do whatever it takes. So you're going to hear these things and you're going to be a bit confused. You're like, damn, Top Rank ain't promoting this fight? Meanwhile, their guys are up there. They got their guys taking shit down, right? Putting fake shit up, right? Trying to disrail him. Trying to say and to give to the viewing eyes in America because Naoya Inoue, you're not in Kansas. And if you think everybody's going to show you love, they got other people on the other side going to the same places. They're sending out their commercials or their ads, and they're going over there going, I'll pay you double not to show it. Or I'll pay you double to play mine in front of it and after. So that's what they remember. It's an ugly game. He's just not fighting the fighters in the ring anymore. He's making noise. And the landlord don't like that shit. Naoya Inoue's upstairs banging his feet. Fuck this couch. Type shit. And you want him out. But Naoya Inoue pays his rent on time. You see, he's an amazing star, an amazing fighter. In a good world, I would love to see him just, let's see where his skills take him. Unfortunately, I don't think everybody's happy about that. And if they have anything to say about it, he's not going to get these fights. He's not going to get these title fights. If the PBC or whoever's in the mix and what they got to do is get to the belts before Naoya Inoue gets to the belts. And then all they got to do is run. There's no law in boxing that says that champion has to fight me. Except for the WBO. I take that back. There is one that will do that. You can fight the existing champion in the above weight division or the one below you. Either way, north or south of the equator, if you have a WBO world title, you can put in the paperwork to challenge that champion right away. So that belt does have that, right? But there's no written rule that when the minute Naoya Inoue wins, let's say the WBO, the rest of the alphabet boys, the IBF, the WBC, and the WBA, they can all hold out on him. There's no law that says I'm the WBO champion. WBA champion, you got to fight me. What makes him fight you is an offer he can't refuse. That's what makes him fight you. Or his desire to want to unify as well. But at this point, they can blackball Naoya Inoue. You ever hear the expression, age him out, don't give him the fight? 5 years too late, 8 years too late, right? Oh, we should have got this fight 6 years ago. You guys see it happen all the time. And you really think that Bob Arum got that much power that he can convince everybody else with the help of Turkey, but now Turkey's leaving to do his own endeavors with TKO boxing. So without the backing or the money of Turkey, how is Naoya Inoue going to get these champions in the ring with him? He would have to offer them Naoya Inoue from here on in. I think personally, he's going to make the less money he's ever made in his career consistently. He would have to take a pay cut and give fighters money out of his own purse to make the bag so big that they like, okay, I got to fight him. If not, he doesn't unify at 126. But in a good world, could he actually do it? Say each and every one of the guys at 126 says yes. Which one of those guys you really think is going to beat him? That performance with Nick Ball, little shocking from Nick Ball, if you ask me. And it's hard to say that, okay, Nick Ball's not going to fight Naoya Inoue the same way. Shit, if he's not, that's how he fights every fight. He ain't going to change a damn thing. That's dangerous. Naoya Inoue and the world, we saw it. And I don't see a situation where Nick Ball walks out of that ring with his belt. No, I don't. I don't see a scenario. You know what I mean? So, who else? Espinoza has to, and he's gonna get my respect, right? Although I think Naoya Inoue would tear up his body, Espinoza has to be a problem with all that height and reach. The problem is that I did notice Espinoza is 2-3 speeds slower than Naoya Inoue. Now, he's 2 or 3 speeds slower than him because Naoya Inoue is at a lower weight. I'm wondering if Naoya Inoue goes up and looks a bit slower himself. Can he carry his speed, his power? I don't question that no more. That shit moved up 5 weight divisions with him. 5, I said. He's a champion in 4, but he bypassed the 112. That's still a weight division. This is actually his 5th weight division, but he's only getting credit for 4 because he never entered the 112. He jumped over it. So 126 would be actually his 6th weight division. But if he wins a belt there, he'll only get credit for 5. Right? Okay. So I'll give Espinoza, I'll say he'll be a little problem, but I think Naoya Inoue catches up to him. He's very sharp, accurate, and he's always setting up the next punch. Where that I think that Espinoza is going to be swinging, missing, but getting some punches on Naoya Inoue. But Naoya Inoue, like every fight, he's going to take one to give one. And I think at that moment, when I see that exchange, I'll tell you how far the fight's going to go. But I have him beating Espinoza, and I have him beating Espinoza comfortably in the fight. Yes, I do. I think that all Espinoza's traits are gonna betray him. The fact that he's too tall, the fact that he's too long, that's gonna be his downfall. Yeah, and Nick Ball, I believe the fact that he doesn't work off his jab. He usually works good off of a burst. Then, in order for Nick Ball to land that big shot over the top on Naoya in a way, he would have to get close to him. I don't see a scenario in the fight he's getting that close to Naoya Inoue where that Naoya Inoue is just allowing him to come in. And if you ever see Naoya Inoue let a fighter through the front door, it's for a reason. Luis Pantera Nari had thought he had Naoya Inoue pinned up against the rope. What happened? Naoya Inoue started slipping punches and countering beautifully on the inside and sat him down. He is dangerous everywhere. He can do it all. And his jab is not like every jab in boxing. Now, I've seen some pretty jabs in boxing. And I agree that I feel some fighters have a better jab than Naoya Inoue in boxing. And more than one have a better jab than him. But I don't think there's been any fighter that uses his jab more effectively than Naoya Inoue. No. Naoya Inoue uses that jab for, it's like a freaking Swiss Army knife. His jab. He can do anything with that. Man, listen. He punches shovel punches, side punches, straight jab. He'll use it as a rangefinder. He'll use it to parry. He'll use it. He'll double the jab up, one downstairs to the body, one upstairs. He has a hard, stiff jab that'll bust your mouth open. His jab is no. Fighters should take a page out of Naoya Inoue's fighting technique with just the way he utilizes that damn jab. He starts everything off with it. And if he's that comfortable where that he feels he doesn't have to use it, he already knows whatever he's going to do with the right or that hook, he's fast enough to catch you. He's already made that decision. But he's a very, very smart fighter. And he's typically starts off the night very fast. He'll give you 30 seconds. And he starts doing this with his hands. He'll start to shake his hands out like this. And he usually just takes over. Now, on average, fighters always lose around the 2, 3, or 4 in a fight. Gervonta Davis has been down and on rounds in multiple occasions, even Terrence Crawford. There has been no fighter in this era that's quite doing it like Naoya Inoue, where he has, on average, won at least 95% of all of his rounds. You would have to go through his entire 29 fights with a fine-tooth comb to find a round he actually lost. He didn't lose many rounds. Lost a round here or there in the Nito Donaire fight, and I think those judges were very generous in that fight. It was a high-paced fight, and I could see where they were going back and forth, but they also had their eye on their guy, Nonito Donaire. But he got whooped in such a way that I don't think Naoya Inoue gave up the last 5 rounds like straight. He just dominated him. And if you think about Naoya Inoue's ratio, rounds won versus rounds lost, that's what makes him a really unique fighter. He's not trying to lose not even 10 seconds of any round. Every single round, he's looking to win. And he does. He has a better percentage than any active fighter today. There's no fighter today that has won more rounds than Naoya Inoue. I don't believe it. I don't know nobody. And every guy that's exceptionally good, they've all been down on scorecards. So I know they don't got Naoya Inoue beat on that. What's up, guys? How you guys doing? Let me throw up some of y'all messages and shit. I think Yi Young Kim, what? What are you talking about here, brother? And Roman Cardenas will win world titles after they fight Naoya Inoue. Yes, because they are good talent. That speaks to it, the level of competition he's fighting. That even you believe that the guys that he beat are still um world champion material. Just like Stephen Kubo Fulton went on to win a world title with some mountain man. I ever think Roman Cardenas goes to the decision if he fights. Listen, Yi Jung Kim, he was a tough dude. Naoya Inoue made him cry. Y'all saw it. Was he not in tears crying? These are tough men. Nick Ball, I believe, will give Champ Nemo all he needs and some. Um, I love your enthusiasm and I love your confidence, and I gotta respect it. You think that? Great. Um, uh, I think that you can view Nick Ball in certain ways, and one way you can definitely view Nick Ball is a fucking world champion. So, as far as respect on his name, the man's name, anything can happen in a fight. And I'm also in agreement with you, Glenn, because you Nick Ball doesn't have just a puncher's chance in his fight. He's a goddamn world champion. And he will always be dangerous in that fight, no matter my opinion or not. Nick Ball is a worthy, and I repeat, a worthy opponent. But I will talk up Naoya Inoue because I see him as the best fighter we have in our generation, and I see him as the best fighter in the world. But can the best be beat? Absolutely. Can it be Nick Ball to defeat him? Absolutely. You got Nick Ball maybe in the fight, or you may think he might give him, you know, a great fight. I think that personally, there isn't a style or a fighter at 126 that's going to present Naoya Inoue with actually any challenge. The only challenge is going to come in the fighter themselves. That's it. What the measuring stick for that fighter's will and how far he's willing to go, I have no measuring stick for that. But as far as all their styles and what they bring to the table, Naoya Inoue has truly seen it all. He's fought already tougher fighters than some of these guys already. He's already had challenges where guys were so much taller than him. Jamie McDonald was 5'10". Just remember, Naoya Inoue was jumping up a weight division, and he fought him right away for his world title. Jamie McDonald has never been knocked out in his career. He had that belt for 4 years. Naoya Inoue knocked him out in 1 round because he was too tall. Naoya Inoue slipped that upshot, hit him in the head. Jamie McDonald wasn't right ever since. He went down 3 times in the fight. At 16, at 19 years old, 20 years old, Naoya Inoue had 5 professional fights. Well, let's bring them up a little bit. Let's say 8 professional fights at 20 years old, right? With only, in that, going into that fight, that would have been his 8th fight. But leading into the fight, he only had 7 professional fights on his record. So here's a kid that's 20 years old with only 7 fights fighting Omar Narvaez. He had a record of 43-1. He only lost 1 fight, and he went the distance and lost that fight. Meaning he's never been put down or knocked out in his entire 43 professional career. And they told him a 5'5" Japanese guy with only 7 fights wants to fight you. 7 fights? Did you say he has less than 10 fights? Yeah, he's undefeated though. Damn it! Did you say he has less than 10 fights? Of course I'll fight him. And he got destroyed. That Nick Ball shit pressure. You guys seen that Filipino nationalist dude that tried to bully Naoya Inoue, short, stocky, real big dude? Kind of favors Nick Ball. Just a Filipino version of Nick Ball. What was it? That dude burst in one time and Naoya Inoue came forward. Naoya Inoue calmly slipped back his foot. A young, and he was a kid, a baby. Naoya Inoue was actually 19 years old. This was his second professional fight. That guy came in, slipped. Naoya Inoue knocked him out, one punch. You're not going to be able to give him those windows that big. And everybody that fought him like a wild man style fighter, like Luis Pantera Nari, that had success against the monster Naoya Inoue. A wild style fighter, just like Nick Ball. And that kind of pressure that Nick Ball has, that kind of pressure is the key ingredient on beating a skilled boxer. That's like the Mexican style. You might be better than the guy. You might look better, more athletic, more skill. That pressure fighter, some of these boxers will under that kind of pressure. And that is one of the key ingredients, I believe, in order to beat Naoya Inoue, what Nick Ball has. I just don't think he has all the ingredients. He has some of them, and that's why I got Naoya Inoue in the fight. He has what it takes, and I can see what the people see. He's just missing some ingredients to pull that kind of style off. I mean, you gotta have an iron chin, a real iron chin. You gotta have an iron stomach, and you gotta have an endless gas tank. Meaning, after all that pressure you put on him for 8 rounds, when he comes out in the 9th round and takes a deep breath, that's when the fight should start for you. That's that Mexican overwhelming style. It could be frightening. And I can see exactly what the people are saying when they talk about fighters like Nick Ball. I see what they're saying. I see what they're talking about. I'm just a bit more boxing fluent, that I can also see it and see where he might have a problem in certain areas. Naoya Inoue's footwork, he can cut angles and be up on you in a heartbeat that I think it's going to shock Nick Ball. It usually shocks every of the fighters that he's typically in there with. Very worthy opponent, Nick Ball. Listen, I say myself that all these guys at the 126, and I mean it, every one of them are all good champions. They just not bringing anything Naoya Inoue hasn't seen before. And like I said, even the attributes that they have on their side, like Espinosa's height, I think that's going to work against them. The other one is Leo. Now, Leo can keep his belt until Naoya Inoue gets there. I think that'll be an interesting fight. I remember the fight Angelo Leo had with Stephen Kubo Fulton. They were both very young in their careers. Neither of them were a world champion. But Leo had something wrong with his knee. He had like a brace on. And he couldn't step correctly on it in the night. It was apparent. You could see it. At some point in the fight, it was really bothering him, and Stephen Kubo Fulton took advantage of that. I think if they were to fight again, I think it would be a different fight. And I might just have to take Leo in that fight. Because Stephen Kubo Fulton still doesn't have that kind of power, punching power that can really just at least stop a man in his tracks. He doesn't have any power, punching power to that. He punches hard, I hear. His punches do hurt, but there's a point in the fight where you no longer feel the punches. It's kind of like your face or your body goes numb, and you're just seeing flashes. You could hear the punch, and it's funny, you don't really feel it. The only thing that's going to knock you out at that point is somebody's going to have to detach you from your senses. And that's where you get those guys that are too tough. They're no longer feeling that shit. Their face is so hurt. It's like kind of having like that one cut that got infected and it's just messing with you. And the only relief you can have while I do this, I dig my finger into the cut and I'd be like, oh, you want to hurt? Yeah. And then I let it go and I got relief for like 5 seconds. And now it hurts like a son of a bitch. So I do it again. And I keep until now it's just infected. Now they're going to cut my finger off. I should have got some alcohol. Well, I learned now, but this is a good match for Naoya Inoue against Roman Cardenas. I like the Mexican fighting style. Roman Cardenas is all over social media saying, campaigning now. He rightfully deserved this kind of fight. When his stablemate, MJ, is his sparring partner, seemed not to get the fight, but is rumored to want to fight Naoya Inoue in September. Once again, I'm calling it just like Sam Goodman. Until I see it, will I believe that? Sam Goodman said he'll fight Naoya Inoue not once, not twice, 3 times. They still couldn't get that man to stop shaking and get in that ring. He smashed himself in the face in sparring. He was like, oh, we're a week out from the fight. Ah! He cut himself. He smashed his face against the wall to get out of the fight. And that's all hypothetical on my behalf. I'm just making fun of the guy. I think that he didn't get it cut in sparring, but 10 days out from one of the biggest fights of your life, under whose watch, under whose tutelage did they allow you to spar like that? You got headgear on and you still got cut. I always said this, laughing, jokingly, shit, Naoya Inoue should be fighting his sparring partners, because if they're doing that to Sam Goodman's face, maybe that guy should be fighting Naoya Inoue, right? It was like me, right? One day, I don't know why I said this, right? I say he's crazy shit all the time, right? So the guy comes up to me, I forget, we were at a picnic bench table. And we were on a I think we were playing dominoes. We was at a bench table. He was a fan watching the game. He wasn't even involved in the game. Like, I could see I get in an argument with my partner or the dude next to me, or the dude to the left or the right, because we're actually in the game. This dude was a spectator watching us play the game. He starts talking shit. So I said some shit back to him. I remember in the situation, and he quickly went into gangster mode. He was like, yo, you don't know me. I've been shot before. I've been stabbed. You know what I'm saying? I'm a crazy mofo. You don't want to F with me. You don't know who you messing with, right? And he gets to showing underneath his shirt where he got shot at. So in the moment, I know I heard it somewhere, and it just came out. I was like, brother, I'm not scared of you. I'm scared of the dude that shot you. You a mark. You standing up here advertising for people that put holes in your body. You're a walking billboard. Now you validated you a bitch. I'm not, now I'm less scared of you. Not that I ever was, but I'm even less. Because you got people stabbing you, shooting you. I'm not scared of you. Who's the person that stabbed and shot you? I know they shooters because they done shot you and you advertising it. Some people just say the dumbest shit, right? So it was situations like that, like I see MJ and these fighters all claim they want to fight Naoya Inoue, but I don't see it in their eyes like I see it in Roman Cardenas' eyes, like I saw it in Yi Young Kim's eyes, like I saw it in TJ Dohany's eyes. Those guys that were given those opportunities when they never should have even been in the ring with them. Let's remember, not Roman Cardenas, TJ Doheny, nor Yi Young Kim should have ever fought Naoya Inoue. And I mean ever. These are the men that were the heroes. Those guys right there that never deserved that fight, those are the real heroes. They saved the night. What the other guys that were so worthy and deserving to fight Naoya, they ran for the hills. And here comes these guys. Yo, real warriors. I'm here. I'm right here. What do you mean him? No. Me. I'm here. Right here. I'll take the fight. Give me a shot at those 4 belts. And they all went in there with the greatest will in the world. They just quickly found out that they were outgunned and Naoya Inoue was really him. And they were in trouble. They were in trouble, and there's levels to this. You know, Yi Young Kim was like his approach, his little tactic of bluffing went horribly wrong for him. You know, he tried the tactic of, oh, come on, you're not hurting me. But inside, he was probably fucking rocked, right? And right? And Naoya Inoue hit him, bang, bang, right? And Yi Young Kim, he goes back. He's like, come on, egging him on. Sometimes that'll make a fighter stop in his tracks. Wait a minute, I just hit him with my best punch, and he's asking for more. Let me not go in and make a mistake. Then all of a sudden, you're starting to second guess yourself. Then all of a sudden, you get caught with a stupid punch you should have never got caught with. You should have stayed the course doing what you were doing. But you allowed him, by antagonizing you or smiling at your shot, to convince you he's not hurt. Meanwhile, he's fucking rocked. And he's trying his best Academy Award. And the award goes to not Yi Young Kim, because Naoya Inoue didn't fall. He saw right through that. He knew. No, you're hurt. And Yi Young Kim started antagonizing him more and more. Naoya Inoue said, brother, you really want me to hit you with a one-hitter quitter? You want to feel the wrath? You want to feel the thunder? You want to feel the lightning? Huh? Yo, it sounded like a baseball bat hit that man. That shit was so loud, and I only watched it on a stream. I can imagine what that sounds like. Well, I will imagine no more, because May 4th, I will be in the building in Vegas. Yes, I will. You will see me out there. You'll quickly know it's me. You'll be like, what's the commotion over there? It'll be this crazy Spanish dude walking up, fully dressed in samurai attire outfit, right? I'm gonna have the face guard on with the little Japanese thing right here, 2 swords, Security's gonna tackle me going in as a crazy fan. I'm gonna be yelling, "No, I gotta get in!" And they're gonna tase me and stuff. So once they get the swords away from me, and I sign the consent form, I should be released back into the general public, right? And then I'll quickly take my seat. But you'll still see me there yelling crazy. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna watch this firsthand. I want to experience the Naoya Inoue experience live in person. I suggest if you really follow your favorite team, your favorite boxer, or what have you, that if you can, um, try to save up for a particular fight or a date if you can get some and go out and witness it for yourself. And I hope you get everything you want on that fight night. Sometimes I've gone to some fights and I saw my guy actually lose. I saw Subir Matias lose in Puerto Rico and shit. And my wife, she's white, right? She's Irish. She's like super white, right? And uh, she's with me, so like I give her Boricuaness every night. So legally by injection, she is part Latin, right? So she's there with her little bangs and all her little bit of jewelry on and everything. And as soon as they announced that shit that Subir lost, I was like, we got to get the hell out of here. She was like, why? I was like, just in case these Boricuas take this wrong, they start fucking up all the white people. Let's go. You know what I mean? I had to get her out of there. Right. And although quiet is kept, I was just upset I wanted to get out of there. They would have never did nothing to none of them white folks out there. Not one of them. They got too much respect for the tourists. And it probably would have been PR and PR crime out there, but probably it's not going down like a New York Yankee Boston Red Sox game. Like sometimes there's been a couple nights I fought my way out of Fenway. More than one occasion I fought my way out of Fenway. And not every time I was protecting myself. I was actually starting the fight. Yeah. You know, fans, I used to be a crazy little fucking fan, man. And they start saying something. You know how it is, guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure some of you've been there, in your younger days when you were just a crazy fan for a certain thing, and yeah, I've been in some couple tailgate places where shit went left. Yep. Yeah. So but in an event like that with Subriel, I knew it. I was just messing with her. I was like, yo, let's get out of here before they fuck you up. Right. And she was like, oh, all right. And I was like, but I just wanted to get back to the hotel. You know what I'm saying? I want to start my own party with my wife in the tequila in the sun. Like I was gonna have a better time than watching Subriel fucking lose, man. Oh, I was pissed. But I didn't want to ruin my vacation or nothing. So hopefully I go out watch Naoya Inoue in Vegas and he really puts a a real statement on the night and he gives me like that oh wow moment. You know that moment in the fight where you're like, oh wow, oh shit, like one of those kind of moments. And I want to experience all that. And I think Naoya Inoue coming into this fight against Roman Cardenas, I think Roman Cardenas' style, for the most part, he's aggressive. He doesn't throw his jab as much as I would like him to. And he'll take one to try to give one. I think him being tough and trying to do that Mexican pressure where they go in and take damage on their side and are willing to take damage in order to try to fatigue and tire out the opponent. I'm not sure if that's the kind of style you want to implore against such a power puncher like Naoya Inoue. I think Naoya Inoue is going to out jab him and he's going to start to try to create his opportunities against um, Roman. And I think Naoya Inoue is methodically and with pinpoint accuracy, he's gonna pick him apart. And then I think at some point in the fight, when Naoya Inoue's ready, he's gonna put him away. That's what I think's gonna happen. I think Roman Cardenas gonna go in there. He's gonna give it his all. He's gonna give it his all. And we never know. You never know, man. This is boxing, man. You know, I've seen crazier shit happen. You know, I never thought that Tarver was gonna knock out Roy Jones Jr. Not in a fucking million years. I didn't think that Hector Camacho would be the first man to knock down Sugar Ray Leonard. I didn't think that. What? Oh, they were older. I don't give a fuck, bro. That's going down in the history books. Hector Camacho was the first man to drop Sugar Ray Leonard. That's a done deal, baby. That's a done deal. You could cry about it if you want to, right? It's moments like this. You can really change your stars. When have you ever been given an opportunity, man? I dream of shit like that. Shit, for as much as I fucked up my shit, bro, I be wishing I could just change my stars. I remember being a kid in the neighborhood, in the ghetto and shit, watching these rich kids sneak down to the inner city to hang out with us. Meanwhile, we're telling them, yo, go back home, bro. I wish I could change lives with you. I would be the best kid in the world to my parents. And you guys are fucking it off. You guys want to dress like us, look like us. I didn't understand it. They're running to the ghetto and we're trying to run out of it. It was truly weird. The more we dressed, you see, because back when I was a kid, those MC Hammer pants that everybody took and made it a fashion trend, in reality, the reason why we wore big pants is because we were poor. I had to wear my big brother's pants because we didn't have any other clean jeans. And they were huge on me. I had to wrap a belt around me 3 times. And all of a sudden, the other kids thought it was cool. Meanwhile, we're wearing huge pants, and then all of a sudden, it became a fashion. Now, these kids with money was wearing huge pants. Now, us to play it off, we're too cool to say we were wearing them because we were poor. And we was like, yeah, you like these shits? I'm wearing my dad's jeans to school. Everything we did growing up, because we was poor, they made it into like a clothing line. And we were too cool to admit. Nah, we were doing that because we wanted to. A guy dresses with a dress, a dinner coat, with a Martley Crew rock and roll t-shirt, with a fedora and some Chuck Taylors with some Levi jeans. And all of a sudden, he was fashion. Motherfucker, he just came from the Goodwill, from the Salvation Army. And he put that on because shit. And this all, he was, let me get this, let me get that, he steps out with the confidence in the world. Just walked out because his mind might be elsewhere into some other shit. He don't care what he looked like. And all of a sudden, somebody drives by and goes, where can I get myself a dinner coat? Motherfucker, if next week in GQ ain't some dude dressed up there with some tight ass shit dinner coat with a Martley Crew shirt on, ripped jeans, and they're selling that for like $1,500. It was crazy. And I mean, I knew it because I was in it. I was the kid that was poor. I knew what we were doing. And I always used to say to myself, man, if somebody would come and save me, somebody would just take me away from all this shit. That somebody never came. And I was like left to my own devices. Truly. My mom was a single mom and she was probably pulling her hair out trying to run us boys, me and my brothers and shit. And I always wanted to change my stars. I was never given an opportunity to change my stars. That moment never came. It's like sitting there in the worst day of your life or something and just waiting for your mother to come and hug you. Even as a grown man, you know that hug is not going to come. Or even for your hard work, you know the credit's not going to come sometimes. You just got to you got to roll with the punches. But to be truly given an opportunity to change your stars, man, it must be just right there. Right there. How far are you willing to go to get everything you ever dreamed about as a kid? Perhaps on one night, you know, if you win, can you say rematch? Let's do it all over again? I don't know what that's like. I've never been given that opportunity, but I know what it's like to wish for it. Roman Cardenas, bro, in the fairness of competition, I truly wish you the best. I truly do. May the best man win. Yeah, you know something. Hold on, I need something to boost up my spirits. Sometimes I get a little lost and boop, boop. What's up, baby? How you doing? Wait, where is she? Oh, she's over there. How you doing, boo? Come on, man. Put some clothes on, baby. Can't be having you out here. You know what I'm saying? Yo, where? Oh, yeah, all right here. So I understand the opportunity, man. And I understand the moment, you know. I can only imagine what something like that must be like. But Roman Cardin, on May 4th, he will be given an opportunity to do just as that. And there's no shame in a loss, neither. When you can look back and say you shared the ring with a champion such as Naoya Inoue, it truly will be uh, a big name on your resume to say that potentially, depending where Naoya Inoue ends up in his career, that's what they're going to say about him. And that's what you can say about the night you shared the square circle with such a fighter. And what did you learn and what did you experience against such a fighter like Naoya Inoue? So, you know, um, learning experience wise, I've always wanted to ask Stephen Kubo Fulton, but he's so cocky and arrogant and so full of himself that he won't even admit or acknowledge the challenge that was Naoya Inoue. What Stephen Kubo Fulton decided to do was to double down and say, no, it wasn't him, it was me. It was me in the fight. Oh, that's a good milkshake. I've had this here this whole time. It's getting kind of warm, and I didn't want to let it go. And I was like, that is a good milkshake. That is vanilla bean, Breyer's vanilla bean milk, a little dash of that vanilla stuff. Bro, If Naoya Inoue touched that milkshake right there, he better be ready to defend all four of those belts in that moment because that milkshake right there, yo. And the toughest thing I'll say back to him is, go ahead, take a sip, drink as much as you want. Now put the cup back down there. Oh, go ahead, take some more. Oh, you're drinking the rest. Oh, yeah, and now slam the cup over there. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yo, that man be tough. That little dude tough as hell. Yeah. I I I I also think that um and it's moments like this and fights like this that can really set the bar for the next fight. And if MJ truly says to himself, "Yo, I'm ready. What's up, Frontline? How'd you sneak up in here? Frontline knows my house phone number. You know what I mean? What you doing?
Yo, you like that, huh? You want to know how I did it?
Yeah, you did it." He was like, "Wait, let me see if this works. I'm gonna go grab the other link from the other one and join."
Yeah, because it's registered to your IP.
Right. What's up, Papa? How you doing? You
Yo,
set up?
my Japarican brother, what's up?
What's up, brother? You know it. You know I'm going there in full Naoya in a way attire. You know what I mean? Hold on, let me see if I could. Yeah, I guess like that is good. Yeah, you don't really need to be in the TV. You
Nah,
could
just
be in
keep
the
me on the
corner.
bottom corner. That's
Yeah,
all
you
right.
could. Yeah,
I'm in
yeah,
timeout. I'm in timeout.
yeah. So what's up, Frontline? What's on your mind? Talk to me.
Ain't shit. I mean, I don't think Cardenas has a chance at all.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously it's boxing. He's got a puncher's chance, but
yeah.
Inoue's too smart.
I
Inoue's
know that.
too he's too athletic.
Yeah.
His footwork is like you said it before. Inoue makes a mistake one time and he learns and adapts to that mistake and it won't happen again. You know what
No,
I'm saying? So
no. In fairness, I try to always talk up the opponent as well. Both fighters, I believe both men are warriors. So you know my MO.
right.
You've been on my show for quite some time, and I'm definitely gonna give Roman Cardine his flowers and acknowledge the possibilities. The reality is much different, right? And what I really believe is, what I believe, just like what you do. I think he's outskilled and outgunned, and it'll truly just be up to Naoya in a way when he wants to put him away. I think Roman Cardine has a warrior spirit, just like Yi Young Kim. I think Yi Young Kim believed every word he said about Naoya Inoue. I just don't think he experienced it. And once
So
he experienced that,
I don't know
he,
if you addressed it already, but Glenn
yep.
in the chat said a while back though. He said Nick Ball he believes will give Champ Inouye all he needs and more.
Yeah, I addressed that.
Okay.
Yes, I addressed that. And I said to Glenn, I said, if you really believe that, well, then that's your beliefs, and I respect it because, you see something in your fighter, Nick Ball, and I got no accord with that. I'm like, okay, great. Nick Ball's pressure, what he's seen from Nick Ball, that kind of fighting style is the exact ingredient you would need to beat a highly skilled boxer like Naoya Inoue. That's a start. The problem is that Nick Ball needs a couple more ingredients to go with that, and that's where I see his flaw in. He does have the style, so I see what they see. I see where
And he has the
that kind
power.
of fight, no, that kind of fighting style catches up to the slick boxer all night, 8 rounds, wearing him down, punching in his arms, his shoulders. Then all of a sudden, that slick boxer's arms start to drop just that much, and he catches up to him. Boom! I've seen that pressure kind of fight. Shit, look at H2O. He was dominating that whole fight until
Because he
that guy
got caught
got
with that
close to him,
overhand right.
and he got laid out. And
Shit,
H2O,
shit.
He was clearly the more superior of the fighter, the better of the boxers. He fell asleep behind the wheel, and this guy, he kept getting closer and closer and closer until he landed it.
Yeah, he took
And
the handy challenge.
right. So I can see what they're talking about when they reference Nick Ball's fighting style. And I can't I'm not disagreeing to any of that. I respect his opinion. I respect anybody's opinion on the way they see it. And we could always talk. You see it that way, I see it my way. And we'll see what happens. But I think that Naoya Inoue is gonna make short work of Nick Ball. It'll be with I I think it'll be within 7. I'll give him one more round. My last prediction 6, but and that's only if Nick Ball stays disciplined. If he starts to jump out of his shell and Nick Ball starts that little lunging thing that he likes, like sometime he'll just jump from anywhere, like he did against TJ Doheny. And I was like, that's not really, a smart move. And with Naoya Inoue, if you talk about making making a read with you, if he made a mistake in the first, well then also he also makes reads on you. If you duck too many times to the left, that'll be the last time you duck to the left. So, just ask Ampayano, ask people that got one punch knocked out by Naoya Inoue.
Yo, how's
That
that card coming along? Is it stacked already, or did they put up more fights? Or
Yeah, no, the car's already complete. Vargas got his guy. I forget the kid's name, whatever. Everybody on the card is it's pretty good. And oh yeah, Rohan Polanco. He got his guy. Everybody already got an opponent. Naoya Inoue flew in from Japan. He must have arrived this morning, sometime this morning in LA time, because they gave him a send off in Japan. He was on stage by himself. They gave him like a huge bouquet of flowers. That's the respecting out there in Japan. That's tradition. They present you with a bouquet. Remember when that dude threw the bouquet at Mayweather's feet? Remember in Japan?
yeah,
Mayweather was fighting like an exhibition, and the Japan dude walked up to him and threw his bouquet, and that was like never done in Japan before. That the Japan like president himself came out and said, "Bro, that guy don't speak for us, Mayweather. That he brings shame to his family." Type shit. Like that dude had to go back behind stage and stab himself in the stomach and cut his stomach and his guts had to spill out for that shit. Right? So, they do that tradition where they give them this huge thing. And I know what guys must think when we see it out here. Like, what the fuck are they giving them another man giving you flowers for? But that's like a big honor, bro.
yo,
That's a huge
I
honor.
think in a way should have came sooner though,
Where?
because to America.
What do you mean?
Be, because he's got what? A, wait, no, he's got a couple weeks to adapt. Never mind, I'm bugging. I
Yeah,
thought he was
yeah.
fighting this weekend. My bad.
No, no, no. Yeah, 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 yeah. Nah. He's got the over the 2 weeks in, so
Yeah,
I
yeah. So
like
his body
that.
adapt to the time change.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes.
He's good.
He's good. He's good. He's got the 10 days, easy. So um, that's what your body needs to really adapt to the sleep change. And I don't think it's necessarily gonna be too much on the weather, being that it's California, Japan type shit, and where Naoya Inoue lives out there. So the desert um can get cold at night, but they'll be fine. Um and he'll acclimate to the time zone. Now, as far as the Mexican, I think he's he's already left too. I think I saw an interview where he's also in Las Vegas already. And what they should be doing at this point, this is the last week of like real training. And then the final week will be like walkthroughs, jogging, the bike, the sauna, jump rope, shit like that. That's what you do your last week. The last like 7, 8 days, he's got about three more sparring sessions. Naoya Inoue. That's it. And then from there on in, it's just saunas and jogging and fucking watching what you eat and really trying to get to those couple pounds to shed them so that the weight cut ain't so severe. Trying to get there and then them weight cuts. I don't miss them days, bro. I do not miss that shit. Fucking out of the sauna, in the sauna, hot towels, cold towels, type shit. Fucking, you know, on treadmills and just cutting and sitting inside the sauna and just seeing the sweat just pour off you and then putting you in the ice baths and you want out of the ice baths and they're telling you a few more seconds, a few more minutes, and your fucking body's trembling and shit. I've pissed in ice baths. My bladder gave out on me trying to cut. Uh,
Yeah,
just
that's just brought ice bath.
it's fucking brutal, dude. And just cutting weight in general. And I don't miss that shit. But it's not bad when you think about it, right? You cut weight. If you fight 3 times a year, 3 times a year for that amount of money, it's not bad.
Uh oh.
It's
Uh
not
oh.
bad. Chacho, me están
Chancletazo.
llamando. Yo, bro. Yo,
Chancletazo
yo, yo.
incoming.
Morse code. I'm in danger. Will Watson. No, but this danger comes with pesos. So, see, sometimes the missus wants me to go over there and squeeze her butt. But hey, listen, frontline, I'm gonna have to wrap this one up.
Yeah, oh,
All
trust me,
right.
I know.
Listen, but anyway, Frontline, thank you for coming on. Thank you for everybody that's tuning in. Please, guys, don't forget to hit that like button. We've had over 30 people on the live at one time. So do me a favor and get these likes up for me. It really helps the video get pushed out there. And more people will see the support for Naoya in a way out on these YouTube streets because there's a couple of them coming out there, but they're always fake. And as soon as one thing happens with Naoya in a way, they all show their true colors. So fight fans, thank you for tuning in. I hope you had a great time. Frontline, thank you for stopping by. It's always been a pleasure. I'm
Yes,
on
sir.
to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk. You guys have a wonderful night. And
Peace.
I'm out. Peace.